It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare, show you what I'm doing, my lineups, how they've done, what's coming up, all my Sorare thoughts, crafting. I show you my crafts. Now, usually on a Thursday Sorare video that I make, if I've done some crafting in the week, I'll record my crafting session and just insert it in one of these videos. I did some crafting just gone. The weekend, no, Tuesday I think it was, when they had the Halloween cards in the crafting, and I was like, you know what? I want to get myself some Halloween cards to enter this cursed competition, and I could craft 3 cards. I had like 3,000 and something essence. And I crafted a Rodri. Wow, Rodri. Unfortunately, the other 2 cards weren't great, so I can't really enter that cursed competition. And Rodri's injured, so I can't play him there. But I got a Rodri card, and now I'm wondering, what do I do with this Rodri card? So it's like, yay, I got a Rodri. Now what? So I'm torn, because I think the shrewd, business, trading orientated Sorare manager who just focuses on money, profits, where we can make money, sell those cards quickly. That kind of like ruthless manager would sell Rodri because he's not playing. It's an in-season card. You're not getting much usage from him as an in-season card. His value is going to depreciate. Get rid of him. Spend that money on someone else. However, the more emotional Sorare manager, the softer Sorare manager, guess who I am? The one who gets attached to players and ideas and concepts and believes his club in Sorare is real and that these players all exist. And I want to keep Rodri because for me, Rodri was a aspirational card for when I first started Sorare. When I first started Sorare a couple of years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, Rodri was like Mbappe, Rodri, Messi. It was like that level of player where you just want to one day have one. And Rodri's scores used to be ridiculous, used to be one of the best scoring midfielders on the game. And I always used to think, I'll get a Rodri one day. Now I've got a Rodri, but he's a different Rodri. He's injured. He hasn't been scoring well for a while. So I'm a bit like, part of me is excited that I have a Rodri and I've always wanted a Rodri. But now the other part of me is like going, well, he's not the same Rodri. So I'm going to keep him, I think, in the hopes that he becomes that old Rodri. And hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully we get some in-season usage out of him. Maybe in a few weeks, because he was rumored to be coming back from injuries this weekend. And I as soon as I crafted the card, I went on the news, tried to find out any information I could from Guardiola. And literally the day before I crafted him, there was a news story from Guardiola saying, I don't know when Rodri's coming back. I've got no idea when he's coming back. So that wasn't encouraging to hear. However, hopefully he comes back soon. Hopefully gets back to the old Rodri. What would you guys do with Rodri? Let me know in the comments. What would you do if you crafted him? Would you keep him? Would you sell him? I just don't think now is the time to sell him, because if he plays next weekend, if he plays in 2 weeks' time, his value will go up massively. So even if you want to sell him, surely you sell him in like 2 weeks, not now when he has no market kind of hype. You wait for a bit of hype before you sell him, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I always like reading your comments, guys. Thank you for the comments. Like, if you just say, well done, Amreezy, great video. I like those comments, but I also like hearing how you did. So let me know, whenever you watch this video, let me know what your closest lineups were, how you did at the Sorare weekend, either just gone or the past Sorare weekend. What's the update? I love seeing how you guys have done on Sorare. And then sometimes if your YouTube name is sort of similar to your Sorare name, I'll go and try and find you on Sorare and then look up your lineups, how you did. I love that. I love thinking about Sorare. I love watching other people's Sorare lineups. Basically obsessed with Sorare, if you couldn't tell. So that's how my week has gone so far. Rodri's the big news. Wondering what to do with him is also the big news. Let's get back on track though with the regular schedule of programs on a Thursday video. Let's start with this week's video by looking at how I did last weekend in the wonderful fun world of Sorare. Right, gang, here we go. These are my lineups from the weekend just gone, which was game week 21 in Sorare. There was a championship lineup, which we don't take too seriously. Premier League in season. This is where we had some pain. We needed to hit hot streak number 3 this week, which was 400 points. That was the target. This was the closest lineup we got, the Power Rangers. 383. If only Kudos and Gibbs White, if only one of them had done something, because Bowen did his job. The Spurs defense did their job. Kudos and Gibbs White, just one of you needed to do something. An assist, a green score somewhere between one of these two, and we would have hit 400. Encouraging, I guess, that we're close to 400. Frustrating that once again we've failed at the hot streak 3. That seems to be my kryptonite. That's as far as I can kind of get hot streak 3. Then we seem to get knocked out. So hopefully next hot streak 3 we don't have a lineup like this, and we hit the 400. But it was a disappointing result for Chelsea, losing to Sunderland at home. I'm going to try and not talk about that too much, otherwise I will get angry. This lineup was a bit of a mixed bag. Semenyo's gone a little bit off the boil. I did think, Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth should have fun here. Semenyo should have fun here. It didn't quite deliver. Gordon didn't quite deliver. Grealish, an okay score. Sanchez, terrible. So Josh Achapong with the best score in this lineup. And he was a late swap because Gabriel was supposed to be in this lineup, but then it was like Gabriel might not play, so I put Gabriel in my kind of throwaway lineup here. And Gabriel did play and scored probably better than anyone else in my, not apart from the Spurs boys, but he obviously put up a big score because he's fantastic, Gabriel. And I will say now, what I'm kind of thinking of doing is maybe just getting rid of all my old Sorare cards, just trading them all away, and just getting like 5 smashers in season. And if I was to do that, I think the ideal Sorare lineup, and I mentioned this on my Monday stream with Royal Ivy. If you've not checked out Fantasy Football on my channel, go check it out. You can see it now. Royal Ivy, we had a great chat about Sorare, life, all of that good stuff. We reviewed the Premier League weekend. And in that video, I did mention my kind of ideal Sorare lineup would be Raya in goal, Gabriel in defense, and then the extra card, another Arsenal defender. So you go Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, for example. So you've got 3 Arsenal defensive stacks because they're the best defense in the league, maybe the best defense in Europe. And you've got Champions League usage, Premier League usage, and like they're keeping clean sheets and scores on the same kind of level that a striker like Haaland is scoring. So for me, the ideal lineup is Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, and Saliba I think could be swapped for Timber. And then you've got Haaland and a midfielder, maybe Caicedo. That would be the ideal 5. Now I've got Gabriel, I've got Caicedo. So if I trade my entire gallery for 3 cards, I think it could be worth it because, I'm not really getting much. I've got a Nottingham Forest collection, for example, at 5%. Yeah, sure, Elliot Anderson's a fun card. Gibbs White, sometimes a fun card. But if I could trade that entire Nottingham Forest collection right now for a Raya, I think I'd do that. So that's what I'm going to be looking at doing this week, maybe at the weekend when the prices kind of come down a bit after the deadline. And then maybe next week's video, I'm going to have some big cards to show you that I've done big trades for. Maybe. I'm still thinking about it. If this weekend, the likes of Grealish, Kudos, Gordon, Semenyo, all of these kind of like fringe stars, players who on their day can smash, if they all have good weekends, I'll probably have to just stick to my strategy as it is. But I am getting a bit frustrated with the likes of Kudos. Like these are not the scores we paid 30 odd, 40 pounds for. So yeah, in general, I'm learning quite a few harsh lessons this season in Sorare. One of them is that not to buy early access cards next season if I can resist. The other thing is to stop buying so many budget players, to stop buying so many could they smash cards, and then just go for they will always smash cards. And there are some of those cards like Saliba, like Gabriel, like Haaland. So yeah, I mean, Haaland didn't actually do anything this week, but I think my point stands. So that's how I did Premier League in season. La Liga, we finally hit a hot streak in La Liga. Here we go, 379 points. My first like ever streak in La Liga. I've just hit miss all season so far. So it's good to finally get a streak in La Liga. Now we go on to hot streak 2. Let's see if we can hit that. But in general, this pairing of Dimitrovic and Romero, the 2 Espanyol defenders, is a nice little partnership. I like having this partnership. I feel like that's now a base for me to build on. I've got a Villarreal collection. I've got a few pieces here and there, but I feel like this is a good thing to build on. And then I go 3 in-season cards with them. So that was good to see. Hopefully we can hit streak. If we had 1 more point, we would have hit the next streak. So we're not that far off hitting streak number 2, which would be nice. The Villarreal goalkeeper situation is doing my head in. Luis Jr. was the goalkeeper at the beginning of the season for Villarreal. I spent 30 odd pounds on him. I was like, great, I've got the Villarreal goalkeeper, all the Villarreal cards. I've got a nice Villarreal stack. Then Tenas came in the team out of nowhere, played a few games. Then I was like, okay, so it seems like Tenas is now the number 1 goalkeeper. He played like 3 games in a row. So I went out and got his card like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now he's not. Now Junior is the #1 goalkeeper. So at least I've got both of them. I just need to work out who's going to be, because Junior would have been in this lineup, and that would have been 330 score. That would have been a nice score. Probably would have got promoted from a Division 3 lineup with that kind of a score. But instead, it's frustration once again. So we've got good scores here. We've got Junior, Foyth, Alvarez, like good scores. The Espanyol boys in defense. We just need to put them together. Just need to put them in the same lineup, and we might do well in La Liga. The other lineups we take seriously are all Classic, where we went for a bit of a mixed bag this week. I didn't build any lineups where they were like one team heavy, and I don't like that. I think I like it when you have one team heavy lineups, because then you have to check less scores basically. So again, good scores from Barcelona, a couple of Chelsea players with good scores. Declan Rice is having a good game of form. Cunha he's here. First goal for the club. Cunha season's beginning, so we're going to start playing Cunha a lot more now. Eze scoring as well. So good scores here. None of them in the same lineup. It's a bit of a theme. Under 23s, let's not talk about them. All-Star. We want a tier 2 card from All-Star. Now that tier 2 card was garbage. It was a MLS card for worth like 30p. So sure, it was garbage. I would have rather have had 1,000 essence. However, it was exciting to win a card. It was exciting to unveil it. And then it was disappointing to see what the card was. Now, if Anderson Santa Maria had had a better game, this could have been happy days. This could have been a tier 1 card. But the Tigres boys did their job. Phil Foden, Thiago Silva, some nice scores here. Santos won again. I repeat, Santos Laguna won a football match once again. We're back. So we put the Santos boys, Sordo here and Lopez here. And I think we put the Santos defensive stack here. They didn't keep a clean sheet, so the defensive stack didn't do their job. And annoyingly, I did think they had more chance of keeping a clean sheet than they did scoring. But the 3 defenders here from Santos let me down. But the 2 attackers from Santos here, well, one of them did okay. Romero Sordo, I love him. He's made his way into the first team lately, Sordo. So hopefully he can hold that. And then the rest of the Tigres boys did well. If I'd have built a full Tigres stack, I think I might have done better than if I'd have built this lineup. Yeah, because look, we've got a defender with 75. We've got a defender with 58. So that would have been better than those 2 defenders. So yeah, let's back Tigres more this weekend. Let's see what I'm doing with my lineups at the end of the video. Maybe I am backing a full Tigres stack this weekend. And then Santos. So that's how my lineups did last week. Shall we take a look at my new cards since last week's video? Shall we? Shall we do that? Yeah, let's do that. So, I don't think I've actually bought that many cards. No, I've not bought any new cards this week. I've only crafted 3 cards. One of the cards I got rid of because it wasn't that good. One of the cards is a La Liga defender who has been scoring quite well recently. Mojica. I hope that's how you pronounce your name, mate. He started the season slow. Started the season with a couple of oranges. Didn't play against Real Madrid. Was benched for his country. Didn't play his international football. Was benched against Sociedad. Was benched against Sevilla. But like the last 4 games, he's put up a 66 without any goals and decisives. And then he's got 2 assists in his last 2 games. So I'm thinking, this is not a card to be trading. This is not a card to be selling. This is a in-season La Liga defender. Ignore the Halloween card. I mean, don't ignore it. It's a beautiful design. I love the Halloween designs. Look how beautiful they are. They're just great designs for cards. If you could see it, look, it's just, I love the black. I love the gold. It just makes a limited card look way more fun than what it actually is. So I just love this Rodri. I'm keeping it. He's 29 years old, and you know, maybe it takes him a while to get into the Man City team this year, but I could see him in the first team next season. I could see this being a really good classic card. So it will be nice to have a Rodri in classic in this design. I'm talking myself into keeping him. So these are the 2 cards that I crafted. He'll be useful in La Liga in season, and Rodri maybe will be useful. I did, as soon as I crafted the Rodri, I went onto the news. I was like, what's Guardiola been saying about Rodri? And literally the day before I crafted him, Rodri, there was a press conference with Guardiola where he said, I have no idea when Rodri will be back. So that wasn't encouraging to hear. But maybe he's just saying that to throw the scouts off. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, these are the two cards I've crafted. This is the tier 2 card that I won from my all-star lineup. I've put him at £3, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near that. What's he been going? He's been going for like, yeah, 57p. The reason I put him for £3 is his last or instant buy went for £3. So I went, well, if someone's willing to pay £3 and 5 pence for him, maybe they'll be willing to pay £3, but they're probably not going to be. They probably had a market credits or something like that. So I'll have to reduce this guy's price, but at least he's 25. We might get some more usage out of him, and his scores aren't terrible. He does play. He starts games, so yeah, it's just a shame MLS is ending and I'm not going to get any usage out of that in season. So those are the 3 new cards I've got since last week's video. Let's finish this week's video by looking at my lineups for the coming weekend in Sorare. Okay, gang, here we go. These are my lineups for game week 23, and there is a cursed Halloween competition from Sorare, which have fun if you're entering that. I don't have 3 cards. You need 3 Halloween cards to enter. It wasn't worth it for me, especially as my 2 cards I crafted. One of them's Rodri, who won't play, so the Halloween competitions are not for me. If you're entering them, good luck. This championship lineup is also not for me. This is mainly just to build XP. Premier League in season, though, that is for me. Now, we are going to be going to my 2 kind of serious in-season lineups are Chelsea and Tottenham. They're playing each other. Chelsea are playing Tottenham on Saturday, and I think what I have to do is back one of them. Now, it's as a Chelsea fan, there's no way I'm building a Spurs 5 lineup against Chelsea. There's no way, even if that's the sensible thing to do. Even if Spurs have a home fixture, even if Chelsea keep getting guys sent off and have no such striker to play, I'm going to be backing the Chelsea boys, obviously. So my first Division 1 lineup is going to be the Power Rangers, 4 guys from different clubs. Arsenal kind of defensive stack with Gabriel and Declan Rice. They're playing Burnley. Great fixture for them. Vicario is going to be in goal because, well, I'm torn. It still might not be Vicario. I just feel like it could be Sanchez. It needs to be an in-season goalkeeper, and I've only got Vicario and Sanchez in season. Now, I just feel like if I put Sanchez there, I feel like it's better to put Sanchez here and just go for a 5 Chelsea stack. So we're going to go Vicario here because he's at home. Chelsea don't have any strikers. Delap's suspended because he got sent off in the Carabao Cup, sillily. So we're going to be going Grealish, Gordon. Gordon's got West Ham and Grealish has got Sunderland. Nice fixtures. Arsenal and then goalkeeper. Then we're going to be going for a Chelsea stack here against Spurs. I feel like Chelsea, even when they're having a bad season, even when they're having an average season, they always get up for Spurs. So let's hope Chelsea can roll back the years and give Spurs a thrashing. Then in case that doesn't work, we do have Spurs options here. Kudos and Pedro Porro are here. This may be the last lineup I ever play Kudos. My patience is running very thin with Kudos, but I'm sticking with him for now. Kudos and Porro, Sam Johnston in goal because Wolves are playing Fulham, quite a nice fixture. Semenyo, tricky fixture, but Man City can concede goals, and Semenyo might have a bit of fun there. And then Gibbs White, Manchester United at home. I've got a good feeling about Nottingham Forest. Manchester United at home, even though Man United are on a bit of a good run lately, Forest, new manager, did well in Europe against Porto, could still be finding their feet with Daesh, so let's see what happens there. And then a throwaway lineup of basically injured players. La Liga in season. This is the serious lineup. Los Power Rangers. We found ourselves in Division 1 in La Liga, so now would be a really good time to hit that streak number 2 and to kind of do well on the leaderboard because we found ourselves in Division 1 for the first time. So we're going to go for that Espanyol defensive stack who are playing Deportivo Alaves away. Bit of a tricky fixture, but not unheard of to get a clean sheet away at Alaves. So let's hope they can do the business there. Then we've got Mariba, Oyarzabal, and Pepe. This lineup, I'm going to be playing 4 Villarreal players. I don't like that Gay is a 40% chance to play, but Other prediction sites I've looked at have got Gay to be starting. So I'm going to be taking the gamble that Sorare do this one now and again. They will now and again say a player's 40% and then that player will play. That happens quite a lot. So I'm going to be hoping this is another case of Sorare getting it wrong. And then Julian Alvarez is captain with those 4 Villarreal players. And then this is a throwaway lineup with maybe all 5 could play, because this goalkeeper could play, because Villarreal occasionally just play the random goalkeeper. Cardona could play. Kubo could be back from injury. Almada is back from injury, but he's been coming off the bench lately. And then we've got our new defender who should be the only certainty to play. So he's captain. All-Star. Now, I've gone back to playing a bit more building team-heavy lineups. So I'm going to be playing almost a full Crystal Palace stack here. 6 Crystal Palace players, because they're playing Brentford at home. Nice fixture for Crystal Palace. And Phil Foden. Phil Foden playing Bournemouth at home. Could be a nice game for him. So captain Phil Foden. This team have gone for 4 Monaco cards. They're playing Paris FC at home. Great fixture for Monaco. And then 3 Everton cards who've got Sunderland away. So nice fixtures here. So we're going to go for team-heavy lineups here. And then here we're going to go for a full Barcelona outfield with a Alaves goalkeeper, because we don't have the Barcelona goalkeeper. Then we're going to go for a Chelsea 6-man stack here. Again, hoping Chelsea beat Spurs. And then a Cunha card away at Forest. So quite fun. 1 team-heavy or 2 team-heavy stacks in Champion. In All-Star, we are going to be going for a bit of a mixed bag here with the I Love Juan Brunetta lineup. 2 Tigres, Atlas double up. Koulibaly's got some kind of whatever that action is where Saudi Arabian teams are covered in. So he's now been covered by whatever competition he's playing in. So we don't need to think too much. We just chuck him in there. Sergi Dominguez is back from injury. He's been playing the last 3 games. And then Eze away at Burnley. Nice fixture for him. Santos goalkeeper here, who are playing on Friday. So I'll be watching Santos on Friday, hoping that the goalkeeper doesn't let me down. And then a bit of a mixed bag here. This is the Tigres heavy lineup. It's Tigres and Jared Bowen. I must be the only manager in the Sorare universe this weekend playing a Tigres stack and Jared Bowen together. So let's hope it works. And if it does, Bowen captain, and then all the Tigres boys out there. And then my last All-Star lineup is going to be 4 Nottingham Forest cards. I did say I've got a good feeling about Nottingham Forest at home to Manchester United. So let's play 4 Forest cards here, see if it works. And then, no, actually 5 Forest cards, because we've got the goalkeeper as well, Sells. 5 Forest cards, and then 2 random defenders. 1 Aguerd, who's been doing well for Marseille. Great fixture for Marseille this weekend. And the other Tengalier, Alaves, and Espanyol. So I've got quite a few Alaves and Espanyol cards scattered across my lineups. Let's just hope that it's not like a 2-2 and all the defenses do bad. Let's hope at least one of the defenses does well, so that one of my Sorare lineups can do well. And also, let's hope you guys do well with your Sorare lineups. Guys, thank you for watching this week's video. On Monday next week, we've got another Fantasy Football episode where I'm going to be joined by David, SR Monkey. He's going to be on the channel on Monday for a live Sorare chat. We're also going to be on Twitch. We're going to be multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch. And it's going to be at a slightly earlier time of 6:30 p.m. UK time. That's going to be my new Fantasy Football streaming. I used to do it later, after the Monday Night Football, but now I'm thinking, let's do it before the Monday Night Football so that we can then enjoy the Monday Night Football. So 6:30 UK time, Fantasy Football with David, SR Monkey. He will be here. If you're into MFL, there'll be a video on my channel tomorrow with Hoodwink where we talk about MFL. Otherwise, I'll see you next week on Road to Sorare Boss episode with your boy Amreezy. Good luck with your coming game weeks. Peace.